It's like a part of the internet that I think we all take for granted. That I've only been thinking about this over the last week or so because Elon Musk has spent a lot of the last week attacking Wikipedia. He's in something of a tiff with the founder.
Can I just tell you, he's ticked off at everything.
Well,
right now.
he's tiff prone, we should say. But in any case, Wikipedia is super interesting because it's been around since 2001. People who are about my age, I'm 41, will remember that college professors, high school librarians were very down on Wikipedia when it was launched in its early years. But over the years, there's been basically study after study showing that it's very accurate or compares well to traditional research sources. And I think really importantly, as you said in that intro, Tim, it doesn't do a lot of the stuff that we've come to associate with the negative parts of the internet. There's no ads. There's not a lot of rage bait. And there's a real care about the truth. And what's super interesting when you look at sort of recent research about Wikipedia is it's actually gotten less fringy over the years. So our normal thought about social media is it sort of tends to suck people into these far right or far left or just weird and kooky rabbit holes. Wikipedia has actually become less like that, which is super interesting, and I think maybe worthy of acknowledgement, if not outright celebration.
So the question is how?
Yeah, so it's a couple of things. I mean, one big reason I think is the business model. You don't have this engagement-driven business model that depends on getting people to stay there for a really long time. So if your goal was to maximize ad spend, what you'd probably want to do is have lots of controversial articles about the wildest topics. So conspiracy theories or just fringe stuff. Wikipedia doesn't do that. The other thing is there was a conscious choice made by moderators, these people who work essentially for free to maintain Wikipedia, to favor, mainstream news outlets and academic journals over kind of what you might think of as the do your own research school of fact-finding. And that, of course, is in marked contrast to the trend that we've seen, not just from Elon Musk, right, who's been in this kind of long-running battle with the mainstream media as he sees it, but also Facebook and all of the other social networks. They've all moved away from news. They've all moved towards this kind of favoring influencers, essentially, over, academic papers and mainstream news organizations. And I think that's had a negative impact on the sort of truthfulness of what you find on the internet.
Not going to name names, but I think it's fair to say that people in the media business, maybe a few on-air, anchors and talent occasionally are like, oh, Wikipedia, I've just been jammed a story. Let me quick look there. Having said that, is it accurate? Is it reliable?
So, and when you talk to people who've studied this, the answer broadly is yes. It compares well to, traditional news and information sources. That said, it kind of depends what you're looking at. So well-trafficked Wikipedia entries are extremely accurate. I talked to an academic, Amy Bruckman at Georgia Tech, who said it's the most accurate information source ever created in human history for topics that are sort of well-trafficked. And that includes controversial topics. So if you look at the page for the war in Israel right now, you will see a thorough, fair-minded, very fact-filled entry. For stuff that's more niche, where you maybe only have one or two editors, it's a lot less reliable.
I don't even think I have a Wikipedia.
I don't either.
We're gonna have to change that. Maybe someone, one of these, tens of thousands of editors can go and do that. But it actually brings up a good point. Carol brings up a good point, Max, is what happens when maybe a previously unknown presidential candidate wants to jump into the spotlight and hires some interns who go and try to, kind of edit the Wikipedia entry a little bit.
Yeah, Vivek Ramaswamy got caught out essentially hiring somebody. This was actually disclosed on the Wikipedia page.
I love this.
So totally above board. But I think this is a good example because he was called out, number one.
Yeah.
And number two, it essentially called attention to the thing that he was interested in, kind of affecting the Wikipedia entry on, which was this fellowship he had had received from a Soros-connected nonprofit. And I think this tends to happen a lot. People will actually get caught trying to manipulate Wikipedia, and it sort of does a Streisand thing where it essentially calls attention to the ways that the truth is being manipulated.
Explain what the Streisand effect is. I don't think everyone
that's
knows
the
that.
idea that when you deny something or you try to cover it up, it only calls more attention.
Barbara Streisand tried to do it with one of her homes, years ago, and then everybody was like, "Oh, Barbara Streisand's home. Let's go find it."
And so,
that's why it's called the
so
Streisand
rich
effect.
guys and powerful people are constantly stepping in it, either trying to edit their own Wikipedia pages, that's like kind of amateur hour, or like hiring someone to do it, which is the case that happened here. And again, I should say, this was disclosed, and that's part of why we found out about it. But Wikipedia has a very transparent system for showing you how stuff is edited. So one thing that's great is that if some false fact or conspiracy theory shows up on Wikipedia, it'll be taken care of. It'll be disappeared very quickly. That's the opposite of social media, right? Where you see these kind of engagement bait headlines and so on just circulate widely even after they've been debunked on Wikipedia. They go away, and you have this paper trail essentially where you can go back and see what happened. So you can see, was it deleted appropriately? What is the truth of it? And so when you get into, well-trafficked topics such as presidential candidates, you're not necessarily going to get the most, the best written article,
right,
but you're going to get something that is likely to be mostly factually true, relatively fair and balanced, and importantly, something that you can kind of audit yourself, right? There are these citations, you can go through it, you can decide, hey, how true is this?